Hey guys, and welcome back. So I feel like I was messing around just a little too much in the last video, and we got a lot to cover today. You know, just the essence of a discipline that takes years to master. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So what is freediving? Like it sounds, it simply means diving freely without the aid of a scuba tank or any other breathing apparatus. It's a discipline that's probably as old as humanity itself, but the first archaeological evidence that we have dates back to at least 5,400 BC and indicates that the Scandinavian Urtable people depended on freediving for shellfish as their main means of survival. And throughout history we see freediving in such places as Mesopotamian and Egyptian civilizations, Hellenic and Greek legends, hardcore Roman war units, and the Japanese Ama, a mostly female group who even today continue the 2 millennia old tradition of diving for pearls and oysters off the coast of Japan. So why freedive now? Your next meal might not depend on your ability to dive 60 feet underwater. In fact, I'm willing to bet it probably doesn't. If it does, you're awesome. But there are a plethora of other reasons to pick this up. Such a cool word. Plethora. Plethora. To name a few, you get a much more intimate experience with marine life. The noise and bubbles of scuba equipment usually scares fish off. But when you approach them on their own terms, they are much more likely to accept you as just another animal sharing their home, allowing us to better observe these amazing creatures in a way you just can't without freediving. Freedivers have been proven to have increased ability to focus as a direct result of the mental training that is necessary to be a successful freediver. It's cheap, just like you. Literally, if you have a normal functioning body instead of lungs, you can freedive. Sure, there's plenty of stuff you can buy, but if you can't afford it, then don't let it stop you from getting a mask and experiencing the underwater world. And either way, it's still a pretty cost-effective sport. The resistance of moving through the water has also been proven to be good joint therapy. And yes, it will strengthen your lungs, increasing their capacity and efficiency. Even as a beginner, nothing I've experienced compares to the blissful calmness I've felt just floating near the bottom of a crystal clear spring, observing the fish and incredible view, while you're just gliding effortlessly through the water as if you belong there. It's like time slows down. And you just feel at peace. So for obvious reasons, this helps people alleviate stress from their lives. Another great thing about it is it can be enjoyed at pretty much any age. It's common for pro freedivers to be in their 30s, 40s, or even 50s. So I'm excited to do this not only now, but hopefully throughout my whole life. To master freediving means to master a balance between mind and body, to conserve as much oxygen as possible while expending as little as possible. With only a month, our main focus will be an optimal training schedule to increase our breath hold and get down to the fundamentals of freediving. So I would recommend staying active with other forms of exercise this month. Swimming, if you can, would be great, and I am planning on putting out some parkour exercises and workouts soon as well, for those of you who are interested. But I digress. It's time to learn about free running. Freudian slip. Obviously, I just want to jump off stuff. Freediving. But before we do, I need you to go ahead and take out your phone and record yourself holding your breath for as long as you possibly can. I feel like Dora the Explorer. Did you do it? Great! Anyway, and so for my starting breath hold, I went out to St. Andrews Bay here in Panama City, Florida. Whoops, wrong bay. There we go, St. Andrews. It's a nice little swimming area. Keep in mind I have done a little snorkeling here and there, and while I haven't trained with the upcoming exercises we'll go over, due to dabbling in relaxation, meditation, lucid dreaming, I am really good at relaxing my body, which helps conserve oxygen. So take into consideration I do have a head start on most of you. Don't get discouraged if my time is better. So how long did you last? That's what she said. The average person can only hold their breath for about 30 to 40 seconds max. So while you were gasping for breath, because let's face it, you're pretty average. Totally kidding, you're special, Mom was right. The point is, while we're struggling, a pro freediver would just be getting started. For them, being able to hold your breath for 6 minutes is the norm. That's not even crazy at all, it's not even high. Like, it's ridiculous how good they are. In fact, the current world record for static apnea stands at a whopping 11 minutes and 54 seconds by Branko Petrovic. I'm sorry if I slaughtered that. Anyway, his best time is actually 12 minutes and 11 seconds, but it's not recognized as an official world record just because there's no level 8 judge there. Total ripoff, because you can watch on YouTube, there's plenty of people there recording it. And that word apnea, you actually be seeing that a lot. It comes from the Greek apnoia, literally meaning without breathing, which was adopted as a big freediving term. So how is it possible for us humans to go from barely being able to touch the bottom of the pool, admitted that was you at one point, to people like William Trubridge diving 101 meters, which is 331 feet, using no fins, just his body and a single breath? Sure, at his level he's probably genetically gifted. I mean, he was diving to 50 feet by age 8 and has held no less than 15 world records. So yeah, he might have some merman hidden up his family tree somewhere. I don't know. But he still had to train incredibly hard to get to where he's at today. So again, how do we get there? Some of you might feel like you are useless in the water. What if I told you your genetics also give you hidden potential for aquatic proficiency? It's true. It's called a mammalian diving reflex. It's present in all mammals to varying degrees. It's basically just a physical response to being in water. For humans, it's triggered when water hits the face, and it causes your body to respond in 3 main ways. The first response is bradycardia, which is a fancy term for the lowered heart rate you experience, generally between 10 and 25%. The second response is called peripheral vasoconstriction, which is when your body automatically starts constricting blood flow to the extremities, conserving blood energy and oxygen, keeping the majority of it flowing to the heart and brain. Third response is blood shift. When you dive extremely deep, there's extreme pressure, and that pressure can cause your lungs and other spaces filled with gas in your body to compress. However, due to this response, those organs become engorged with blood to counteract that pressure, allowing us to dive to depths previously thought impossible by scientists. Pretty sick, huh? Unfortunately, you can't depend on this reflex alone, and without training to maximize those benefits, you'll probably feel like you don't have it at all, especially if your mental and physical state counteract it. And that's where our training comes in. Woohoo! First, and probably the most crucial key to freediving, is your ability to relax your body and calm your mind at will. Every freediver will tell you this. And many of the pros practice yoga, meditation, and other disciplines, and have learned to control their bodies to such an extent they can slow their heartbeat, much lower than is normally possible for a conscious person. So because relaxation and mental control is so crucial to freediving, you're going to get a little crash course on some basic meditation techniques, and we will be applying these in our training schedule, so listen up. The point of meditation is to learn how to control your mind, especially your conscious mind. By calming that constant mental chatter, you're able to then observe the deeper inner workings of your mind on a more subconscious level. Right now we're focusing on freediving and just learning how to get into that calm and relaxed mental state. So let's get to it. A really simple exercise is to simply count backwards slowly from, say, 100, while focusing on deep, calming breathing and mentally relaxing your muscles. So again, try to focus on your breath, your body, and your counting, letting other thoughts go as they come. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes. A variation of this exercise is to visualize yourself standing on an infinite staircase, and as you breathe deeply, every 3 breaths or so take another step down on the mental staircase. Tell yourself that it represents your consciousness, and every step lower makes you feel a little calmer, more relaxed, and brings sharp mental clarity as you reach a lower state of consciousness and feel at peace. This one's pretty good for building mental control. So visualize a pool of water. It can be detailed or really basic depending on your visualization ability. What matters is this pool of water is going to be connected to your thoughts. And as you focus on your calm breathing and visualizing the pool or pond, any stray thoughts that pop in your head cause a ripple on the surface. Calmly observe the thought and simply let it go, focusing again on letting the surface of the water return to being calm again. This one is simple and effective. Simply close your eyes, breathe deeply and slowly, in and out. Then visualize a warm golden colored energy, light, or liquid that seeps into your body starting with your head. It warms and soothes your muscles, beginning with the tense muscles in your face. You feel your eyebrows and then cheeks go limp and relaxed, followed by your jaw. The warm golden light continues gradually down throughout each muscle group. Your shoulders, your arms. You mentally observe these muscles loosening and becoming heavy, all the way down to your toes. Your breathing becomes deeper, your mind calmer, as you reach a state of complete peace and relaxation. Believe it or not, practicing any of these consistently will help you immensely in learning how to enter a calm and relaxed freediving state at will. First, let's just go over how to breathe like a freediver and utilize your full lung capacity. Sit up straight or stand up and place one hand on your chest and one on your stomach, like so. Then breathe in slowly and just notice where the air is going inside your body. Next, start breathing deeply, but try to only move your lower hand. So try to breathe with just your lower lungs through your stomach area. When you feel like you've got the hang of that, we're going to switch it. You're going to try and breathe moving just your upper hand, keeping your lower hand completely still, and breathing in deeply into your upper chest area. Cool. Now exhale all your air and then breathe in deeply, starting with just moving your lower hand again. But then when that's full, fill up your upper lungs as well to max. Then hold for about 5 seconds. Now exhale, but keep your lower hand still, so you're only exhaling from your upper lungs and then the lower lungs as well. This is how you should be breathing during your breathe up before you dive. Not with your hands there, but always utilize your full lung capacity. Awesome. And that is how a freediver breathes. Believe it or not, that overpowering urge to breathe doesn't come from your body running out of oxygen. Your body doesn't know when you're running out of oxygen, you would just pass out. What actually causes that response is when excess levels of CO2 is present in the body, which is caused by oxygen being used. And this is why you should never ever hyperventilate before a dive. It's a simple way to instantly increase your breath hold, not because of training and conditioning, but because hyperventilation greatly reduces the amount of carbon dioxide in your blood, and therefore your urge to breathe comes much later. Sometimes after you've already run out of oxygen. This is why freediving is considered the second most dangerous sport in the world, because inexperienced people go out and hyperventilate and dive without a partner and then experience shallow water blackout, causing many deaths every year. Here we see Kyle Hart, who got into freediving and spearfishing, who pushed himself a little too much, a little too fast, making some mistakes that could have cost him his life. Take notes, guys.
Rescue me if needed. It was halfway through the day when it happened. I was gaining confidence with my bottom time and was diving deeper than I ever had before. The video picks up here, halfway through my dive at around 70 feet. After I looked at my watch and saw how deep I was, I immediately swam for the surface. I'd never been this deep before, and I'd already been underwater for over a minute. There were no warning signals going off telling me I was going to black out. It just happened. I was only 5 feet from the surface. You'll see my legs go limp, along with a strange groan. Valente was literally right next to me and pulled me to the surface. You can hear me trying to get air through my nose like a gulping sound. When Valente took off a mask, I was able to breathe and regain consciousness. I was unconscious for about 20 seconds in all. If Valente wouldn't have been watching every second of my dive, or if he would have started his dive before I reached the surface, I probably wouldn't be talking about this right now. Freediving is still my favorite thing to do, but I will approach it from now on with much more safety and respect.
So again, don't ever hyperventilate, you seriously could die. What we do want to do are these awesome fun looking dive table exercises to increase our CO2 tolerance. What's cool about this is there's actually plenty of free software to help you out with these exercises. If you look up Apnea Trainer on iPhone or Android, you will find free apps that will do these dive tables for you. And so all you have to do is put in your max breath hold and it'll create these exercises for you based off of that. This first one is designed to help you increase your tolerance to CO2. Because if you're not hyperventilating, the CO2 will trigger the urge to breathe a decent amount of time before you actually need to. And your body's not accustomed to that feeling, so it's pretty rough at first. And that's what these exercises will do. They'll help us become more comfortable with a higher concentration of CO2 in our bodies. So the way these tables works is there are 8 cycles of breath holds. And as you can see, the breath hold remains 1 minute and 30 seconds, that's on the right. But your resting period goes down by 15 seconds each breath hold. So by resting less in between each breath hold, you're increasing the amount of carbon dioxide in your body. So by doing this training, you're increasing your tolerance to higher levels of CO2. So the breath hold period should be no more than 50% of your personal best. This dive table is based off a breath hold of 3 minutes. The O2 tolerance table is very similar. The difference is now your resting period remains constant at 2 minutes, and your breath hold increases by 15 seconds each time. The last breath hold should not exceed 80% of your personal best. So I mentioned the breathe up. Again, that's just the breathing and relaxing you do right before your dive. Another thing you can do as part of your breathe up is called packing. Or carping, for obvious reasons. I mean, look at this guy. It looks really funny, but he's literally packing extra oxygen into his lungs. But we're not going to cover that in this video because it's not recommended for beginners and can be dangerous. And many freedivers argue about its effectiveness altogether. Yet the world record holders all seem to do it, so we will discuss it later. Alright, so this video has gone on long enough. Let's get to the training schedule. We'll be following the same simple schedule each week, and you can start on any day. Just be sure to keep track of where you're at. It would probably be best if you use the link in the description to get your own copy to print off so you can check things off as you go and write down your breath hold times. As you can see, the schedule is pretty much the same every day except for Sundays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Obviously, one of the best ways to get better at something is to just consistently do it. So having at least 2 random breath holds throughout the day and 2 timed ones at home using proper breathe ups are already going to make a huge difference. You'll also be practicing at least 1 meditation technique every day to help you learn how to easily get into the freediving state. You can do it before bed as long as you can effectively practice 5 to 10 minutes without falling asleep. Also, when you're practicing these, I want you to take the last minute or so while you're feeling calm and relaxed and just take a few deep breaths and then hold it and visualize yourself freediving and staying calm, in control, and just enjoying yourself in the environment. Sundays and Wednesdays we add in the CO2 and O2 tolerance tables, while Saturday is your day to just go out and do it at a local pool or whatever you've got. and to also see your progression by attempting a new max breath hold. If you don't have access to any water, you can still use these exercises to increase your breath hold. So yeah, that's about it. Freediving has been a blast already, and I'll be keeping you updated with my progress and hopefully some of my friends too. That means you, Dina Marie. Turns out Florida is perfect for this because there are tons of incredible springs to explore, so we'll document our adventures and I expect you guys to do the same. You already recorded your starting point, why not do this? What excuse is there to not learn a skill this cool? Send in your progress, or you could post them on YouTube yourself, and I'll check them out and download them for a results video. I'll also be putting out short, simple videos covering things like equalization and packing, or answering any questions, including ones unrelated to freediving if there's something you're interested in. Do some research and we'll learn about it. And I welcome constructive criticism as well, so let me know what I need to clarify or do better in the future. Thanks, happy freediving, and I'll see you next time on Functional Fitness.
I'm drunk as shit.
Yeah? Are you sure this is the best thing to do then?